We don't want any hairs getting caught. So this is quite wet at the minute. So if you just blow it through. You need to concentrate on them ends and making sure that the hair's smooth. So there's a few different techniques. We can do it this way. Bringing it up, smoothing them ends. We have to make sure we try and get a curl on them ends first. And then we can bring it this way. You see, I'm going with the cuticle, how it's falling. I'm rounding them ends, making sure if it pulls, revert back a little bit. And I'm keeping the heat on it all the time. And then you can even do this. And this will smooth down the cuticle. And every time you're leaving the brush in, you can see it's starting to form already. It's just a matter of really, can you see? It's just working that curl. You can't rush your sections. The more you do it, the quicker you will get, but don't worry about being fast. Just worry about getting your technique right. It's not very hot, these hair dryers. Okay, so I've got the ends are nice and smooth. I'm keeping the heat on all the time. Smoothing as we go. So doing it this way, rather than the first way that I've shown you, does anyone know the difference of what you're going to get with the curl? Because the brush is this way, the curl's going to go that way. So if you're at the side of the face, and someone says, I want my curly blow going away from my face, that's when you would do this technique. So if you do all of it the same way, and you brush through it, you'll get a wave, because it will all be in the same way. So you just need to really work them ends. The curl's basically there for you now. Doesn't matter which way you're putting the heat on, as long as you're going with the flow of the cuticle. Because if I start going like this, it's just going to split the hair everywhere. So this is how I want you all to try it. Be in control of your brush, working it round. Smoothing them roots as you go along. And then you can even bring it back that way. Just got to make sure that them ends are nice and smooth. Can you see how it's rolling? And it's still rolling because you're smoothing them ends. And if you do it this way, the curl will fall that way. A lot of you will probably know how to curly blow, but I'm just trying to show you a different technique of a way that you can hold the curls in more rather than keeping all your brushes in. Obviously on real human hair, it will look, I mean, I'm going to get a curl in it regardless, but it will look a lot different, a lot better.
My head curls well, but if
some of them do.
Yeah, mine's really good, so maybe she's ugly, I wish
So I don't mind you leaving one brush, but you need to make sure that it's smooth at the end. You can do one curl, and then you can move on to your next section. And then by the time you've done that section, you can go back and take this curl out. So we'll go on this
So
side.
how long do you think you need to leave it in approximately?
It depends how quick you
So
work.
if I can feel that and it's still hot, leave it.
Yeah, I mean, it depends really. I mean, I could myself take that out now and it will be a curl, but we need to get your guys' technique right before we start pushing you. The more you do it, then the quicker you'll get. You can take it out, you just don't brush through it, so you have to go with the curl. So that's still warm, I can still feel it's warm, but don't drag it out, just be gentle with it, smooth it as you go along, and you'll get a curl. So you want to be able to make that curl, and can you see how smooth the ends of the curl are? Because you'll probably find yourself, when you're leaving all them brushes in, you're not really concentrating on trying to make a smooth curl, you're just trying to get wrapped round, get the hair dry and you're setting it, and that's not the real way how to do a curly blow. So that's how most Englishes do it, but there's a lot of Englishes out there that will do it with one brush, and then people, they stand out a mile, and you want to be the best hairdresser that you can be. So if you can, when you can create the curl with one brush, that's when you know you're doing a good curly blow. And you'll all manage it, every single one of you will manage it because your technique's right. So I did this going over that way, so because I went over, it means that the root's not as volumized as you would normally have it. So if you're working on the top section, you would do your normal, down, back up, down, back up. You can flip it, it doesn't matter. I just did it both ways. It doesn't matter which way because it's still bending it around the brush. So I just want you all to just try. Have you all got 2D brushes? No. If not, then we'll get some to the salon manager and we'll go down and get you some, or one of you can use this. Just make sure that you've got a good brush. So we'll all practice, see how you get on, and I'll come round and help you. Does everybody feel like I've explained things enough?